from the refining sector. Refinery runs worldwide reached the levels that was completely unprecedented. There was a ramp up in refinery activity, unprecedented in steepness, something that had never happened before, and really resulted in a tightening of inventories, of supply-demand conditions, which really pushed prices up. And Syria may be part of the story, but only part of it. Since then, we've seen the reverse. We've seen a drop in refining activity, almost as steep as the increase that preceded it, as refineries entered maintenance and as refining margins collapsed. And this created the opposite effect in terms of oil inventories. We've seen a big rebound in OECD oil in storage, and this naturally would tend to depress prices in a big way, which we think is what happened. Now, this period of maintenance is almost reaching its end, and seasonally, we are now on the verge of a new rebound in refinery activity, and that could support prices quite a bit. This context this market context is really important in terms of how news developments about Syria or Iran or other sectors can translate into prices. A bullish headline in politics will have a bullish effect if the fundamentals are bullish, but might not be as bullish if the fundamentals are bearish. Right now, in the last couple of weeks, we had a very bearish market, and this allowed the bearish headlines about Iran to depress prices. But looking forward, we're going to have a very different type of market conditions. When we look at oil prices, not all oils are equal. As you know, there's different grades, different benchmarks, and they have different prices, and the relationship between those prices tend to change over time. So what we have observed in the first half of last year was a coming together of the key benchmarks, Brent in the North Sea, WTI here in the US. Since about early September, those benchmarks have fallen apart again, and we've seen a widening of the differential between the two. And basically, US crude prices have been trading at a deepening discount, widening discount to other international benchmarks. And that's partly because of new production, partly because of the seasonal decrease in runs in the US, and logistical constraints which are preventing US oil supply from being evacuated and traded internationally. In terms of demand, not too many big developments, but something that surprised the market has been the unexpected relative strength of European supply, European demand. There's been surprisingly strong demand from a number of European countries.